sack of the season.
Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. Call it a gain of a yard.
And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Now McCarthy.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive. The Vikings send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
They go play action with Jackson.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction. But now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 10 catches, 110 yards.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 of anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Nnamdi Madubuike. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
They run for the first time with Ty Chandler. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped out shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 13.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
From the 21, here's second down and 2.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here's Jackson to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews.
And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he'll get this up close to the 30-yard line.
Jackson now. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete.
The Ravens at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
A.J. Epinesa.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10.
Throwing is McCarthy. This will be caught downfield by Moore.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver. And it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Now a handoff to Chandler to the 43, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
Goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And he continues to be a nightmare for teams to defend in the red zone. You see the graphic. He's second in the NFL in terms of rushing touchdowns by a quarterback.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Here's Jackson.
Throw caught by Flowers.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. To throw is Jackson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
Ball start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now it's Jackson.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Throwing is Jackson.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon, as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
On play action, McCarthy.
He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To the air with McCarthy.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Shoves him aside.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
First down, here's Mitchell. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Right back to Mitchell here.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. The quick feet by Jackson. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
It looked like almost some miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And Bateman, and he'll go in motion right here.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Mitchell now off the option.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Calling an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Now Jackson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Mitchell will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Now the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down.
Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. He's to the 15.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Jordan Addison,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now it's Jackson. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They run over center with Mitchell. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination.
From the shotgun, McCarthy.
And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
In motion left goes a tight end. Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Mitchell. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back to throw now on first down.
That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 26 yards. And the Ravens will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Here's McCarthy. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Caleb Williams, excellent in the victory, as his guys run their mark to 4-2 on the year. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
And able to get this out to the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
Holding offense.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
He lets one go deep for Addison. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Addison. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. Wiggles free. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Jackson to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Slot man moves right. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. They go play action with Jackson. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Jackson now. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Over the middle and complete to Addison.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. There go play action. Here's McCarthy. He's going to get that to his right.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on the good side of this game right now with a lead, but they were on the bad side last week in that loss to Cincinnati. So now trying to make amends. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now Chandler. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Chandler.
And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A bold play call there on 3rd down, and they almost picked it up.
They almost got there, as you just noted. Brings up 4th and inches. And you know what I'm a big advocate of if you're going to go for it here, and I think that they should? Quarterback sneak. Pick up the first down, get a fresh set, and then go for the end zone.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To throw is Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Here's 3rd and 7.
From the gun, Jackson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
The Ravens send their punter out now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Back now in Baltimore. been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They run it with Chandler. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He lets one go deep for Addison. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
And the receivers I know, they have a great deal of confidence. Usually they stand in front of the mirror before games and say, not 1 touchdown, not 2 touchdowns, but 3 touchdowns. Trying to turn this one into a big-time performance.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. An option give now to Mitchell. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And that's going to be incomplete. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Throwing is McCarthy. Pass complete to Addison. Running free at the 45. Off to the races. Moving inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Ty Chandler, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And Bateman, he'll go in motion right here. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 24-yard line.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this
Neutral zone
against?
infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles.
Still 2nd down.
Right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now it's Jackson. He finds Hopkins complete. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the option right is Jackson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And Bateman, he'll go in motion right here. Now Jackson. Able to slither by. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That's to Mitchell out of the backfield. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And they'll send the slot in motion left. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and 1.
Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 34 yards. And the Ravens answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. But plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Extra point right down the middle, and that gives them a 3-point lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Vikings offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 73 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now McCarthy. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. Here's McCarthy. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Looking to throw McCarthy. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jalen Naylor, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken a 4th quarter lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 28-24. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Checks this one down. It's Mitchell. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Jackson to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and Ty Chandler getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Back to throw. Gets this to Moore. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. He's back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like that there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Going for it, here's McCarthy. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
And they take a knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. And they'll indeed take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So no shortage of offense in this game. A very clean game, too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level for both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball. Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all of these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. So for the Ravens, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.